Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself upstairs on the panel tonight is Bridgeman and Port Stato Bear. How we doing, lads?
Doing very well, mate. I hope you're well. Hope Bridgeman's well. Fox in the background and our Terry. Good evening, guys.
Can I say a huge good evening to yourself, Port Bear and Oxdale, and of course the other guys. And can I say a big good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How we doing, Bridgeman? Another lawyer's letter today.
So that's hilarious, isn't it?
Listen, mate, we cannot be gossip, mate. We're either going to have to get a good brief or we're going to have to get tooled up, mate. One or the other.
I'd go for the tooled up, personally. I can't afford a brief.
I never heard this.
They're trying to get is Bridgeman. I think they're trying to get his original, newly signed copies of the Gallant Pioneers caricatures. We cannot be bought, mate. We cannot be bought.
It's quite intriguing. It's quite intriguing for Port Bear because he's probably not been involved in any of this. Either that or he's a spy or something like that, you know.
Well, we can get you an original brick for the bistro signed with any player you want, mate. There you go, Port Bear.
There you go. Thank you very much, mate.
What an offer.
What an offer.
What an offer.
You know, you guys, blow me away sometimes. So you do. With that generosity.
Generous couple of fellas, isn't we, Bridge?
Can't believe you're saying these things, Port Bear. Or did you say nice things? Is that nice things you were saying?
It was nice things. Aye, yep.
We're known for our generosity, Bridge, aren't we?
Oh, wow. I'm well known for it. Absolutely. That's because I'm one of the nice guys, you know.
One of the nice guys. How are you, Port?
I'm very well, mate. Yes, thank you very much.
I don't want to get you one of the bricks for your Christmas, mate.
Looking forward. Thank you very much. What are you going to put on it? I dread to think.
Secret Santa.
Secret Santa. Very good.
What about yourself, mate? How are you?
All right, mate. I think, looking back on Sunday, I think, I was a bit disappointed at the time, and then you think, Peter, if I'm being honest, the second half was a wee bit of bore for us, lads, but in the whole big picture, it was okay, wasn't it? The injuries, the goals against them, and we move on, Porter.
I just feel, Oxford, I think the gaffer's using the squad, absolutely fantastically at the moment. And what I mean by that is, that was 8 days, mate, of hard games, an Old Firm game, a European game, and then getting back into your league, using the squad. And, the game died after the 2-0, mate, but if the job's done, is there any need to exert or get people injured, and really go at 100 miles an hour? I understand people why they put them to the sword, mate, but I just think it was a controlled performance again, mate. As I say, I keep mentioning this in the show, a typical experience looking, title-winning team. Why exert yourself, mate? Why go out there and, blood and thunder when we were in full control, Oxshire?
I've got a question for the both of you, then. Just you two. It's not too hard. It's not a quiz question. Right, Bridge, you ready?
That's a cheek. Is he getting to you, by the way, old Port Bear?
I'm getting to you.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm well used to it.
Right, to you two then. Question, right, we went 2-0 up. Do you think, in your opinion, your humble opinion, the two of you, right? Because I know you're only the smartest, right?
Yeah.
In your humble opinion, if the crowd would have been there, would that give Peter 2-0, or do you think that's an occasion when no crowd made a difference? Bridgeman.
Actually, I think the crowd would have made a difference. We would have won that by more, because when the crowd would have been right on top of them, as far as right behind them, should I say, and giving them plenty of support. And they got to 2-0. They just kept driving them on, and the players would have stayed up as much as possible. But midway through the second half, even if they sort of went down a wee bit and the pace went down, the crowd would just be like what we are and accept the fact that they're just not going to play for 90 minutes the way things are going. It ain't going to happen. But I think they would have spurred them on, excuse me, to keep going, and they would have maybe scored another couple of goals.
Well, it's a hypothetical question.
Of course.
Any thoughts?
My thought is, crowd or not, I think, a lot of people are pretty savvy when it comes to football, mate. And after a tough week like we've had, and you're controlling the game and you're in no danger, losing any goals, mate. I just think, we've used the squad, and remember this was mentioned last year, Oxford. Game management. There was a few times where, we did try and go for the kill, and we end up losing a goal in drawing games and stuff. So I think game management was used at the weekend, mate. Probably at half time, he's maybe went out there and says, look, let's not pick up any injuries. We're in full control of the game. He's maybe said, if you can go and get another couple, go another couple. I don't think he wouldn't have said that, but in my opinion, mate, it's only my humble opinion, the game is done, absolutely done. So, why go out there, blood and thunder? Let's get a team wrapped up in cotton wool again, and we go again on to, the next game against like Poznan and Kilmarnock, mate, because they were tough games.
All right, mate, all right. So you would have thought that a full house at Ibrox would have made any difference?
I think you'd have still, that's what I'm saying, I think you'd have still heard the fans expecting more. I see, but what I'm saying is I think the gaffer in the dressing room would have been saying, look, let's just not get injured, let's not get hurt, we're in control of the game. I think he would have, kept the team at a certain level that we picked up no injuries. Bear in mind we're bringing Aribo back and roofing that back. We don't want anybody else getting lost at the team, mate. Just getting these guys back. So I think it's very important this year, Oxford, to use our squad and also be very clever when it comes to game management. I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these 2-0 games. We seem to be winning a lot of games with that score, and then seeing the game out.
Mm-hmm. All right, mate. All right. Just a thought. I mean, you'd never be able to answer it, but it's just a thought. If you say any different. Right, so we're just waiting for a wee. You must have some stats for this, so I think we'll get some music.
I'm a fat man.
Before you came in, Port, I've been asked to give a shout out to we sent this Hayden Black, a wee shout out to Minnie Bear was born yesterday, a wee Levy Black was born yesterday. I hope mother and daughter are doing fine. All the best for everybody here at Rangers Radio. Carry on, Statman.
Yeah, all the best, people. It's well known, it's been a great start to the season. 14 games, 12 wins, 11 clean sheets. We've scored 37 goals. We've only conceded 4. Again, we've qualified for the Europa League and sealed another derby victory against Celtic. Another outstanding start from Steven Gerrard, mate. And then, a guy that I think deserves a lot of praise this year, because I think he's went from strength to strength. I've been one on here critical of him. I know he's not one of my friend Fox's, favourites. But James Taverner, mate, keeps churning out, game after game, and in my opinion, he's getting better. And for a guy that cost us £250,000, mate, played 16, 9 scored, 6 assists, and to date, his career at Rangers, played 259, scored 55, and 80 assists, mate.
Wow.
That is phenomenal figures.
I think the 8 assists is a frightening start for that position. Carry on, mate.
Well, how do you replace that, Oxford? You know what I mean? Again, the 16 games, 14 wins. We're in sort of this wee sort of invisibility streak at the moment. Ranging from 1-0, 3-0, 2-0, 4-0, 5s, 4s, 5s, and then the last 4 results have been 2-0, mate. And these are the games where I've been saying to you, I feel what they're doing is seeing games out. I'm, getting the control of the game, nothing stupid. See the game out, get the victory, and we move on. James Taverner also made Team of the Week in Europe, mate, this week. which again is no mean feat. You know, a guy that played, you know, in some lower leagues in England and then played through the lower leagues in Scotland. And just look where this guy is now, mate. Just look where he is now. I'm really, really happy with James Tavernier this season. He's going from strength to strength, mate.
All right, some good stats in there, Bridge, man. The question I put to you, Bridge, we're heading towards a third of the way through the season, yeah?
Yep.
League games, just league games, pure league games, right? So, who's been your top 3 performers so far this season?
I think, to be honest, I think the best performer for me this season has been Kamara. Followed by, it's all been midfielders, but maybe I say it's all been midfielders. Followed by Stephen Davis and Arfield. That's the 3 I think have been absolute stars for us.
Right.
Absolute stars.
They're the piece. I don't know if I think they've all had great individual games, but I don't know if they would be my top 3. But Port Bear?
I'm going to go with consistency, mate. I really am, and I'm going to go with Connor Goldson, James Tavernier, and Glenn Kamara.
How are you ordering that? What's your order? Who's it?
I've got to go with the right back, mate. James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, and Kamara. But listen, mate. It was very hard to keep my man Stephen Davis out. Sir Stephen Davis. It was very hard to keep him out. But I think Glenn Kamara, mate, has been exceptional this season, along with James Tavernier and Connor Goldson, mate. And again, it was tough between Helander and Goldson as well, because in my opinion, Helander's not getting the... I think he's getting the praise, mate, he deserves, is he? He's been outstanding.
He's a new car patch, mate.
That's exactly that, mate. Yeah, bang on.
He's a new car patch, mate.
Yeah.
Steady talk every week, you know. Sir Stephen Davis goes to the Palace for his knighthood. He better not be taking that wife and Wayne's of his. That better be gone with him.
You've done a lot, mate, to make this happen, and I hope he remembers that.
Very good, Oxford. Very good.
You know. But I think I would over the season, general consistency, good play, goals, assists. A top man would be Tav. The start of the season, I would have said Kent was in fire, but the last maybe few games, Kent's, I'm not say off the boil, but it's no went his way, I would say. But I would go Tav, Goldson. I need to I need to put Sir Stephen in there. Number
That's
3.
difficult.
Sir Stephen, just because it's him.
Who was it between Oxshire? Who was that between there?
Kamara.
Fair enough, yeah, fair enough.
It's amazing how different we see, and yet we see the same things. You know, it's quite incredible. Quite incredible.
Okay, so if people want to give a phone and give their thoughts, we're saying we're roughly a third of the way through the league campaign. Who's your top 3 performers? What's the number? Port Bear.
It's 0141 356 1972. Come on in and tell us your top 3, folks.
When else can you join us, Bridge?
You can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online, and Fox and the old Gold School Blue will look after you and bring you in, maybe give you half, you know, so relax, you'll enjoy it.
If you phone in, hang up and we will contact you right back. We're really interested to hear your top 3. If you see it different. I'm trying to think. I mean, the Reborn Kent started this season really well. Arfield was in the team for a few games, but when he came into the team, he's been excellent. So, some great all-round Porter.
There's been consistency, mate. Probably, you know, every week, probably between 7 and 8 players. I mean, you've got 7 and 8 players playing at that consistent level. You know, it's absolutely amazing, mate. It's very rarely does it happen in teams, but when teams are playing well and your team's gelling and they're clicking. And remember, you know, I've been on here before talking about Michael Beale and Steven Gerrard's, you know, at one point I didn't think the system was going to work next year, but they tweaked it a wee bit this season, in my opinion. I have to take my hat off to Michael Beale, Steven Gerrard, Gary McAllister and his coaching staff, because they're drilling them guys absolutely fantastically, mate. They really, really are. The system's working. The retention, how quick they get the ball back. They've got that 6-second rule. They lose the ball and they're hunting packs to get it back, and it's great to watch, mate. And some of the intricate, combination football in that box, it's frightening to watch, mate. And I dread. It must be a conundrum for a manager, an opposing manager, to come and take us on at the moment, because there's goals coming from everywhere. We're not having to rely on Alfredo. Alfredo's dropping deep. In my opinion, I had to pick one Fox's, sort of wee view. I think he's playing deeper, almost a bit like the, Firmino role, which again is dragging centre halves all over the place. The system's working, mate, and I have to take my hat off to Michael Beale, Steven Gerrard and his coaching staff. Well done, guys.
Hello. John Bercola. Evening, caller. How we doing?
All right, it's Dave from Edinburgh. All right, Ox.
I'm calling you Big Dave. I don't know you that well, but
I'm a 6-footer, so you can call me Big Dave.
Big Dave. I thought it was me and something else there, pal. Something else. We don't want that.
You're not as tall as me and Port Bear, but that'll do.
Listen to that.
All right, guys, how you doing?
All right, Dave. How we doing,
all right,
pal?
Dave, yourself.
I got a good week for the boys, Good week for the Gers.
Yes, mate, it's been superb, mate. It's a great 8 days, obviously away to them, the European, which becomes important for finance, and then a nice routine win, Dave, at home, would you say?
I was listening to you just before I phoned. I was the same. You're wanting a few more goals, but you can see they just took their foot off the gas. A heavy game on Thursday, heavy legs, so they were just containing themselves, keeping themselves fit, injury free, just resting up, as you want to call it, just taking it easy.
I hope so, mate. I hope that's...
I think that's what it was. They were just don't want to get any injuries, just overexerting themselves. I mean, that was a heavy game Thursday night, was it, though, that pitch?
Right. Here's a big question, Dave. I know you've not been on stage. I mean, obviously, you're the same age as myself, early 20s. Is that the best goal?
No, I'm 52, mate.
Don't bite, Dave. Don't bite. Yeah.
52, mate. I've seen the good times and the bad times.
Was that the best goal you've ever seen?
What's that, sorry?
Was that the best goal you've ever
I phoned up after it, didn't I? What did I say? If the game, mind I says if the game had got called off, we wouldn't have seen the World Day.
It was a brilliant goal, wasn't it?
Oh,
Dave's in a puddle. You there, Dave?
Here.
You
hear us?
We lost you for a second.
I'm on the radio. Can you hear us?
We can hear you now, aye.
Aye. I'm saying it was like the Ronaldinho one, but that was a free kick. That was a dead ball, wasn't it? Remember? David Seaman.
And there was similarities because of the way the goalie was stretched a bit different. I think that was a cross.
Oh, aye. No, well, because he took it from 10 yards out his own goal, beat 3 players, looked up, and just walloped it like a driver, straight arc. It's the best goal I've seen, from a Rangers point of view, it's the best goal I've ever seen.
I'm thinking it's maybe the best goal I've ever seen. I had Maradona's doing against.
But it's definitely up there.
Yeah, it's got to be. As for me, anyway, it's the best I've ever seen, and I'm old.
Yeah, you were talking about the best 3 players in the season so far. You missed out Arfield.
Well, we didn't actually. Bridge put him in, and
I said Arfield, pal.
I couldn't fit him in, mate.
I think Cav, Arfield, and Hollander.
There you go, Porter.
That's my 3.
Aye, it's so hard, Oxshare, I can't argue with anybody's decision because, that's Big Dave's, that's his opinion. I did say there's at least, 7 or 8 players consistently playing well week in, week out, and it's so difficult. It's a horrible headache for the manager, or as the manager probably thinks a good headache, because it means when you're bringing players from the bench, we're not, the squad's not dipping. The squad, we're not worried about it was last year and the year before, where we're looking at the bench and you're going, don't know why them to come on, but now you're looking at the bench and it's so strong, and I'm happy with that. But no, it's a great shout, Dave. Great shout. It's so hard, mate. It is hard to pick your top three, mate, isn't it?
There's Ryan Jack came in on Thursday night, and was he no man of the match coming in Thursday?
Aye, well, most people
so,
man of the match.
As you say, whoever comes in is having to play with their skin to stay in the team, or not get dropped, but rested. But apart from that, I mean, they're all having to play, and they are all playing with their skin now.
It's a different attitude and different feelings about Rangers at the moment. To tell you the truth, if you said what was the three best players of this season up to now, you could have named, all three of us could have named 9 players, well, different players, could took 3 each, and we wouldn't have been far wrong. There's very, very little between them. Some of them I just think the way the midfield have played for us, they've been outstanding. That's the reason I went for the midfield.
I think when we started the season off with good movement up front, Dave, and Kent was on fire for us. Arfield wasn't even in the team.
That's right.
Kent's went off the boil a wee bit. Arfield's came to the fore. Kamara's really came to the fore. But then you've got your steady guys that make up a team like Helander, who you mentioned. Steady as a rocker.
Is that
Dave?
For me?
Aye, Dave.
Aye, aye. Aye, there was a guy on Super Scoreboard earlier talking about Helander and how Goldson's improved, and I agree with that. I think he has, because he's got international experience, I think that's why Goldson's improved, and I think it's to do with playing alongside Helander. You know, it's just Goldson's got, he's cut out the wee mistakes he was making, hasn't he?
Aye, he's gave them all to Mr. Duffy on the other side of the city, hasn't he?
Aye, exactly. Well, keep it going then, eh? Keep it going.
Bridgman, you always said that maybe we'd see a better Goldston when he was playing with a left-sided defender. Which, to be fair, in Katic and Balogun, they're filling in and doing real good jobs, but they're not naturally left-sided.
Well, you can see that no matter who they are, and every one of them are smashing players, but when they get pulled out into the sort of left half type of position, where they do need to support, and the ball comes down that left, they really need your left foot and a bit of quality with the left foot in order to do your business at your side. That's your area where you can do your work, and you see Barisic doing it, you see Big Bassy doing it, but when Helander's on his game, you see him doing it there as well. But when you've got someone that's right-footed, and people like Andy, not Andy Halliday, because he wasn't bad for it with a left foot, but anybody who's right-footed, it really does. It stands out like a sore thumb at times. They end up putting the ball using their left foot. That is, if they can't get it over to the right, they've got to use the left, and it nearly always ends up at the park.
Aye, mine's with the Dunbridge, I'll tell you that. That one was only for Stonham on.
I'll tell you. But of course, I've got schooled in football, and you're brought up with people like Baxter, who, just like you said there, his right foot was only for Stonham on, the other one was just a wand, and it did the business, and then out pops Davy Cooper. My God almighty, years later. These people are just fantastic, they're also heavily weighted towards the left foot. That's what I mean. And I like to see left-footed players play.
Well, when you think back of the real mega stars, I think the majority of them have been left-footed, didn't they?
Maradona, Puskas, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Bizarrely, But there you go. But,
I don't know if is Messi left-footed? No, I think he's right-footed, but he plays in the number 10 role.
I don't think Messi's worked too what fatty kicks we get. Dave, so see, you mentioned Big Helander, and I'll take this to Bridge First in Port. He's I don't know if unsung hero's the right word, but he's the new, I just mentioned earlier on, the new Sasa Papach, 7 out of 10 every week. Every week. Nothing wrong, does a lot right. Steady player, good team player.
Definitely is. I rate him. I see the defence has definitely improved since he's come into the team. It's no coincidence. He's got the international experience. Positional, he's not the quickest. He's not the fast, but he's still quick. But he's no fast like lightning. But his positional sense is brilliant. Can I just make another point?
I do.
Our back five cost how much? 10 million quid. If you count the goalie, 3 calf 250, the 2 centre half 7 million, left back 2 million, nearly 10 million.
Well, God,
Celtic's back. I was working it out earlier. Celtic's back 5, 13 million left back on loan, 7 million centre half. If you go for the dearest ones, right? The most, and they're mostly first teamers anyway. Duffy 4 or 5 million with the loan fee and the wages.
Aye, roughly.
And then, so you're the goalie 5 million. There's 10. The left back 23. The other centre back, the right back 3 million. I think it was something like it come to nearly 27 million or something, 30 million, more than the whole Rangers squad. It's unbelievable. And we used to talk about how many Rangers players or Celtic players would get in each other's team. I wouldn't want any of their players in my team.
Well said, Dave. Well said there. Back to the centre. Good point, mate. Back to the centre half point. Bridgeman, you like your centre halves. It's something you watch closely. Good blend. Helander, unsung hero. Me and Porter have got Golson in. We're top 3. I think he's also had his best spell in a Rangers jersey.
Yeah, most assuredly. That's why I said a couple of minutes ago, it's really difficult to pick or single out 3 players out of, goodness, we've got an 18-man first team pool or something like that. The guys they're all playing really well out of their skins. Helander is just a magic player for me. I just absolutely love the way he plays. You can see him reading the game. Sometimes he gets caught because he's not the quickest. So sometimes he gets caught out a wee bit and he gives away wee daft fouls, but he gives the fouls away. Hopefully, it continues to do that in the right places, so there's no danger to the team. But you see the tackles he makes in last gasp, admittedly, some of them. You see the tackles he makes and the blocks he gets in. It's just fantastic. I think he's a great reader of the game. Brilliant and fearless. Absolutely fearless.
Hope there.
That's what makes up, mate, for his lack of pace. You know, I remember David Weir being the exact same. A lot of people used to be very worried about David Weir's lack of pace, but you know he's undoubted. Yeah, mate. Sorry. Yeah.
You made a great point there. Helander, David Weir. Can you ever mind the two of them getting embarrassed with pace?
Never. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I was going to, mate. It's that game intelligence, Oxshare. It's when you've played the game that long, you're so experienced. You know, you very rarely see these guys getting done because they're reading the game. I mean, their brain is 10 steps ahead of whoever they're playing against. That's how they do it, mate. I remember getting a wee bit older and a wee bit chubbier myself, but your experience counts, mate, because people were running away from me. My reading of the game was still, keep me playing at that level for a wee bit longer than I probably anticipated. So I totally agree with what you're saying, mate. It's game intelligence that comes with experience, mate. And Helander is a fantastic defender, mate. Let me tell you.
And he's young, mate. He's young. Come on, let's be honest with you.
Yeah.
26 or that.
Yep, just a baby for a centre half.
Aye, he's getting
I think he's fabulous. A fantastic player for it. It tells you we've got a great squad. The quality of players that we've got in our squad. I mean, where we were 3 years ago to where we are now, quite incredible.
Right, we've got a call coming in. The caller. Right, great. Dave, you
Big
Dave.
I'm still here.
Aye. You made the point about I'm going to bring Portbear in, but I just want to listen. Portbear's been looking at the transformation from 3 years ago when Kachina left, which was 3 years ago yesterday, I believe. Is that right, Port?
I hope he took that hedge with him.
Are you there, Port? Oh dear, he's lost his paperwork, Bridge. You know what he's like.
He'll be asking his wife what she's done with it. Has she finished with it yet?
I hope she's not put it in the bin, mate. It could be chaos down there.
That's what it'll be. She's probably writing it for him.
All right, we've been joined by another caller. Evening, caller.
Good evening, Ox. How you doing, mate? All right?
All right, mate. Who's this?
Kenny.
Hi, Kenny.
How you doing, Kenny?
Midweek visit to my brothers, you know.
What's on your mind,
they're all
bro?
good and healthy, mate, you know what I mean?
Aye, good man. What's on your mind?
Oh, everything, by the way, just the perfect 10, 11 days. It's been a week and a half, you know. It's been superb, actually, you know. The comedy for Parkhead, incidentally, is tremendous, you know. I feel like
you don't think they're very good losers, mate? You know?
Well, put it this way, right? Since the old money after the old Firringham, I fell up and walked in with them. I walked in and actually the Glasgow Comedy Club. It's been that good, you know what I mean? There's one comedian after another. Brilliant, top guys, you know what I mean? We've had Sack the Board, Sack Lennon. Apparently, Dermot Desmond sits in his arse all day and writes spites. Again, that's the latest one. Heard the Rosetta. On and on it goes. The comedy's been brilliant, man. Keep it going, guys, if any of you are listening. There's only two things that could actually top this, so you know that. One is reinstate Strachan as an interim, another great laugh, and bring back Silks for change. All get into the car park, guys, and give it loudly, you know. That's the two things. You can't top this. It's the best laugh I've had in years, actually, you know.
But we've got to be watched that we don't try and walk before we run, mate. We're still not getting any silverware in the cupboard yet. We need to get that.
You know that. Totally well aware of all that, you know, but I mean the signs are there, you know. I listened to Lennon earlier on the news tonight. What a laugh that was as well, you know. It's just, the comedy just keeps coming out of that place, you know what I mean? It's unbelievable, you know. But you know, on Thursday, I just want to really talk about the Thursday's game.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that team. I heard the JFK, I think it was last night, talking about them. I've seen 10 minutes highlights, both games, roughly around about that.
Mm-hmm.
Rangers could have quite a good night if you get the tactics right against them. It can be easily turned in defence, I reckon, you know. Bournemouth
who would you rate them? They've played the last 2 years.
Sorry?
Who would you see them similarly in the team you've played the last?
They're not as good a team, by the way, as Standard Liège. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, okay.
Definitely not. But the one thing about Rangers, they'll do their homework on him. They like a shot at goal. I noticed that in the two games. They're not scared to strike a ball. So they need to sort of close them down outside the penalty box. They've got a couple of guys that are capable of hitting the ball, you know. It only takes a deflection, you know what I mean? But
do you fancy us?
Oh, definitely. You know, I reckon 3-0. I'm not going to go in a 2 because we've 3 2s in a row, you know. But I reckon
4 2s in a row.
Sorry?
We've had 4 2s in a row.
4 2s in a row, is it?
2-0 to D United. Sorry, Ross County, 2-0.
Oh, so we have. I forget the international stuff. Oh, you're right, by the way, but I reckon 3-0. We could beat them 3-0, but just focus on the game, you know, and be aware they will shoot, you know. They're no shot shy, you know. I did pick that up in the 2 games. I've seen them. The last league game on Sunday, they drew 1 each. But I don't see any. It's not going to be the same type of game as last Thursday night.
By the way, I've seen the weather's coming in. It might be.
Oh well, but no, it's not going to be the sort of open game it was really against Standard Liège last week. It's going to be more like a team like we're used to in Scotland, incidentally. Like Olivia actually Sunday, behind the ball, you know, take a wee bit of patience, you know. But they're easily in defence. They look really, really weak to me, you know. My personal opinion, and a couple of surprises. The team. And I'll give you your team selection right now. 3 changes for me, and the third one might surprise a lot of people. But obviously, the back 4, Hellinger back in right, Aribo for Hadji, and up front, I take a chance for Big in this game because he looked vulnerable in the air. And I did hear Fox talking last night. Doesn't think this guy can jump? he's not really been given a chance on it. He's height, he should be able to jump, you know what I mean?
Well, no, listen, I'll be really honest with you. I don't think I've seen enough of Biggerton to judge yet, mate. I really haven't.
No, this is right. I did listen to what Falk said last night, you know.
Don't listen to him. Bridgman,
that was the same opinion, you know what I mean? But I just feel that the high balls, you know, it's things that I clock, but I'm not a manager, and obviously they'll see it differently, you know. But there's definitely, you know, to my mind, I mean, I love you, Alfie, but I just feel right now, it's a confidence thing with the wee man right now, you know.
I think that Itten, the other night, I said the other night, I thought that Itten had played quite well for the few minutes he came on, and he was relishing the sort of physical side of the game. That looked like it to me, anyway.
Well, Bridgman, the way I see it is, you know, he's not been given a chance. He scored that brilliant goal against Motherwell, you know. He was there for the second one, the poacher's goal. But we've not seen this guy in the air. He's got all these big guy, you know, he's 6'3", you know, he should be able to put himself about, you know. I mean, you get back to the Mark, if you remember Mark Cayley side for Rangers, right, that first season he really done not an awful lot, actually, if you remember right, up to the last game we played Aberdeen, and he scored the 2 goals. But it took a full season, and he was similar height and stature and all the rest of it. I think this guy is a good player, but you need to play the guy, you know what I mean? And I think Thursday night, this would be our curveball in that team selection, putting him in for wee Alfie. And I love wee Alfie, incidentally, but I just feel it's a confidence thing with him right now. And it's just opinion, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, it's all about opinion. Dave, any thoughts, mate? Sitting there.
Well, you can't play them all, can you? But no, I mean, and as you say, he's not really had a good look at him yet. He's been injured and he scored a couple of good goals against Motherwell. But that team, I was listening to get seemingly the expert earlier at Polish football, says that team, they like to attack. They attack the full-backs, midfield and full, but their 2 centre-halves, his words, no mine, their 2 centre-halves are pretty poor. He says that if they attack the way they normally play, which is only one way, Rangers could cut them open, because we could score a few goals if they play like that, you know. So I fancy our chances on Thursday night. Listening to what he was saying, that they like to attack. It's all attacking players. Their defence is really poor. They're not the same as Legia Warsaw. Legia Warsaw that we played have got a much better defence. And what did we beat them? Was it 2-0? Can't remember.
1-0.
1-0. We beat. He says, well, they're a better team. Aye, that's right. Well, they're a better team. He says they're not as good as attacking as them, but they're better. Legia Warsaw are much better defensively. So I fancy our chances Thursday night, because if they come at us, we'll just cut them open. It could be 3 or 4.
Oh, I'd take a Bridgman now because of the competition.
Oh, wow.
I hope you're right, Dave.
So they are.
I'm back, mate. Yep, sorry about that. Wee problem with my mic here.
We're experienced in Europe now, so do you know what I mean? They're not experienced. We're the experienced team, so we'll just let them come at us, and then we'll just cut them open.
What was that start last week or something, like Connor Goldston? It was his 36th game in Europe. We've got legends, never played that many games.
You're right, mate. You're right. You know, and just to touch on Lech Poznan, the only player that I recognised in their teammate was a player from the other side. You all remember him, Thomas Ronja, Norwegian international. He was an absolute donkey, so he seems to be the star, but, you know, I don't fear them at all, mate. Do you still want me to give you that team from the last game Kachinya played, mate?
Aye, mate, that would be excellent if you could just use that so we could get a wee bit of the break from the boys here.
Aye, you know, back then, obviously under Kachinya, this was his last game before he get the punt. And our start 11 was Foderingham, Tavernier, McCrory, Bruno Alves, Declan John, Daniel Candais, Ryan Jack, Holt, Windass, Dorrans and Morelos. And our on our bench we had Wilson, Dalcio, Herrera, Hodgson. I don't remember this guy in Oxford. Nemani, Kelly, and Burjonis. The Kilmarnock team, which is pretty similar. McDonald, O'Donnell, Broadfoot, Greer, Finlay, McKenzie, Power, Taylor, Frizzle, Jones, Chris Boyd, Thomas, Boyd, Waters, Irwin, Brophy, Bell and Burke. What a difference, mate, eh? I think there's only, is it 3 survivors?
Obviously you've got Tab,
4.
Jack, Alfie.
Yeah. Jonas, Morelos.
Morelos, Alfie, aye.
Mm-hmm. So 4.
A short time, so there's 4 people. Who was the subs again?
The subs were
Kelly.
Wilson.
That was Liam Kelly.
Aye, Liam Kelly, sorry mate, yes, yep.
Aye, so 4 players still involved there, but Jonas really not much, and we'll see what happens over the future. But
do you know the attendance was that day, Oxford? 47,981. You know?
How many players has come and gone since then?
Oh.
About 70.
Aye, but we're in a better place. I mean, that
it just shows you. Sorry for interrupting, guys.
Kenny. And obviously, it took about 6 months to get Stevie G in. And I think the point that Port Bear's making is the transformation of the team has been wonderful. All right, we've not got that monkey off our back yet. We all feel as if it's coming.
It's evolution of Rangers, Ox. You know, it's been brilliant. You know what I mean? I call it the evolution of Rangers. It's just fantastic. So where we were, you know, I remember going to night shift a few years ago when we get beat to when was that again? And under that Kenesha, horrible, you know. And Celtic supporters were learning that, you know. It's absolute embarrassment, you know what I mean? You're walking in, you're going like that. Gordon Bennett, you know what I mean? It was unbelievable, you know.
Exactly.
You know, and end of the day, I mean, Europe to me this season is a bonus. I keep saying it, the league title.
We were all on antidepressants.
Antidepressants, when I was ready for jumping off the
we were all on antidepressants. I think Caixinha was standing in that bush.
Listen, I can get your pull for that.
That defeat, always in my memory, it was just horrendous. And having to go to night shift after it, man, it was terrible, you know. And but anyway, this Rangers side, as I said to you last week, if you remember what I said, they're exciting to watch. They play good, brilliant football, you know. But let's not get complacent about it and keep in guard. This team will shoot. That is the one thing I did notice. They're no shot shy, and they will hit a ball any opening, so they close them down inside that box, you know. But they're easily turned in defence. To me, they can, if they get the tactics right on the night. That's why I would do big hitting, because they're vulnerable in the air as well, you know. It's personal opinion, you know what I mean, but it's the team to me is Aribo for Hadji and for Morelos up front.
Can I ask Oxford, do you think
you've got to turn your mic down a wee bit, you're blasting all my ears too.
Who, me?
So that's my phone.
You're just a wee bit on you go, Port.
Aye, can I ask Oxford, does the boys in the call in the panel think Gerrard should have, you know, the praise he deserves? Because in a short space of 2 years, mate, to inherit what he had to where he's took us in just over 2 years, mate. Do you guys feel Steven Gerrard? Remember, we get slagged about it. I get plenty of pelters down here. Rookie manager this, rookie manager that. You win nothing with him. You know, does he get the credit that he probably deserves? Because I don't feel he does. I think he's done
there's
a football miracle.
There's 2 sides to the coin, isn't there? There's the football we're playing in the European results, and then there's how much silverware's in the cupboard. The football European results, nowhere near enough gets the credit it deserves. Single-handedly punted up the coefficient of Scottish football. Bridgman.
Folks, that's me just made it back here, pal. Sorry. Just something come up there.
Right, on you go.
I don't know what the question was, but
all right, okay. Just like the quiz. Dave?
Don't blame my partner.
Well, it just sort of took my point there. I was just going to say to you there, upstairs. You were saying the other day the best signing we've ever made was Gerrard, and I was just going to agree with you there. I wasn't one of the fans that thought it was going to win the league his first season or win a cup or whatever. I was always thinking for the start, or saying for the start, it's got to take him a few transfer windows. We just didn't have the money to buy 20 odd players at once, you know what I mean, and get rid of 20 the lot that was there. It was going to take him a few transfer windows, and look at what he's done. Is it Port Bear was just talking there? Look at what he's done with the squad. It's phenomenal. I know we've not won nothing yet. I'm not getting carried away, but I wasn't the one that thought he would win the title his first season anyway, you know, or a cup. It was going to always take a few transfer windows, change it, get the mentality of the team, better players, and now he's got the squad down. Hopefully we win it this year.
Kenny?
Totally agree with that, you know. But may I get back to the first Old Firm game under Gerrard, right? You remember the game we lost at 1-0, I believe, right? And that day, to me, Rangers went into the parkhead that day with a swagger. And so unlucky to lose it. It came down to a bad refereeing decision, by the way, if you remember the game. When Rangers should have had actually a free kick, and they broke down the park and scored. Rangers were on the top. That was the first Old Firm game. And it's built on that, you know, you look at the games after that, and you think about the New Year game, the Christmas game, sorry, and we won 1-0, you know. And Rangers, out of the last 5 out of the last 6 Old Firm, we've been a better team, even with the game with 10 men. We've been a better team that day. It's better play, everything else. It's so unlucky to win that game. He's had Celtic, to my mind, right for the very outset. Apart from the 2-0 loss last season, you know, that day just tactically got it wrong. There was no missing the team that day, you know, and tried to play them down the middle. But Celtic's not the problem with me. Never have been under Gerrard. It's just the games like Sunday we came through it, like the Livy, the smaller teams, you know. But we are definitely a team that's on the up. Celtic, as far as I'm concerned, have hit a glass ceiling. I mean, I've listened to Lennon, right? I mean, they couldn't make the paranoia up.
Can you watch your language on this show? That's some bad.
It's getting worse. I was watching the night, listening to them talking. It's the media. Everybody's got an agenda against them. You know what I mean? The paranoia. It's back to paranoia too. The papers against them. The surveys been done and blah blah blah. Gordon Bennett. I mean, we've been through time, a decade of hell actually. You know, and in the moaning and the groaning and there's mental supporters and. You know, I've heard it all, you know what I mean? I've had 2 weeks, nearly 2 weeks of complete comedy. I feel I've been locked in the comedy club in Glasgow. It's that good, you know? Keep it going, guys. You know what I mean? Just get yourselves together. Get Strachan in as an interim. That gives you another laugh, right? We know what his last season was, right? Get the Sales for Change mob back together. Big meetings of the Debate Society and the car parks. And brilliant. 10 out of 10 for comedy. You know what I mean?
Be yourself,
couldn't make it up, you know?
Port, how are you judging the turnaround?
Mate, the turnaround for me is, you know, absolutely phenomenal. In my opinion, Steven Gerrard, you know, he's been a spoke about building something special at Rangers. You know, I hope he extends his contract, you know, to take us on to, you know, I remember him at the very start saying this was a 4-year project, almost similar to what Klopp said when Klopp first took over Liverpool. You know, he didn't you know, announced he was going to do this and this and that in the first few years. He did say it was a 4-year project. We're 2 years into it, in my opinion. You know, he's bought he's bought some of the loan signings didn't come off, like Sir Joe Worrells and Ojos and people like them, mate. But you know, you can't build a team next year, you know, in a season like the guy touched on earlier. You need a few transfer windows and you need a type. And you've always said it in the show, we are going to lose fans' favourites as we start moving up till we get to the promised land of the Champions League. But Gerrard's building something special, mate. He is building a team here that play excellent football. Mm-hmm. you know, it's actually reminded me of the Brotherhood. When I seen them the weekend and actually see them fighting for each other.
They're not blaming the Brotherhood as well, are they?
Oh, they probably are, mate. They probably are. But you know, you get what I mean. There's that you can see they're playing for each other. They want to fight for each other. You know, they seem the bit between their teeth, mate. And that was something I doubted we had. I didn't think we had that wee sort of nasty streak in our team, which you need, in my opinion, to win leagues, mate. I think you need that wee bit of nasty streak as a team. You know, fighting, bleed for each other, sweat for each other to win leagues. And I think the guy's done an exceptional job, mate. You know, and I hope he stays and signs on for another 2 years. That's my wish, mate. I'd like to see him stay for another 2 years at least.
Kenny,
come in, Ox,
mate.
I told me to fight for each other. You noticed that in seconds after the game last Thursday night on Belgium, you know, when that crowd all went crazy, that team all stood beside. That's a team. That's good comradeship and everything else. We've seen it. They're all protecting each other. They're all fighting for it. Even after that game, you know, they're a team. You've got to fight for each other, fight for the manager. You can't beat them. And that goes a long way in football. You know, it really does. You know,
you've developed a team. I don't.
You know, they're all protecting each other. You look back to the last season, the start of the year before the lockdown, the Hearts game, for instance. There was a moment, from memory, if it serves me right, there was a moment the game was a stoppage for a couple of minutes, and they're all looking at each other, you know. There was no gathering together. This team fight for each other, stand by, they fight for the manager. You've got a really good team. And I was listening to Obi, I think it was the other night. This team can really do well, you know, and I believe it. And everything's to the latter stages to the Europa Cup incidentally, you know. But again, down to the draw, you know. But Thursday night, I do predict a comfortable win, but be on guard for the long range shots for them.
All right, mate. All right.
Can I add one wee thing, Oxie, before you go to the tune, mate? Rangers are the only unbeaten team now in Britain. They're the only team now.
There's 2 teams complaining about that, mate.
I know, I've seen that, but I'm not going with that.
All right, we'll rephrase it. But
which 2 then? Which 2?
Dunfermline and Hearts.
Aye. Aye.
Rephrase it, but we're only top
tier team. Everton were the previous club, but now Rangers, as in top tier leagues, are the only unbeaten side in the UK. And that speaks volumes for our team, mate. Long may it continue. Exactly, pal.
That's some blast for the past in that Kachina name, but I think the biggest mistake there in the game was giving the guy the job. I think there was players in that team who were underperforming. The big centre-half, Bruno Alves, could play, we could see that. That particular night, Graham Dorrans got assaulted. Pretty much ended his Rangers career, red card.
Aye.
There was decent players in there, but the guy just, how he got the job was just beyond me.
Indeed.
But it happened, and it's part of our fabric of our history. And maybe if we didn't get him, we wouldn't have ended up with Gerrard Bridge, so it might have been a blessing in disguise.
Well, you know I was our Ibrox for him coming. I think he's in my lifetime he's made a huge effect on Rangers. All positive. And the fans, in my opinion, the fans are still on the Steven Gerrard 55 train. Unbelievable 100%. Stuff, just unbelievable. Yeah. And I think, like Portbear says there, I'm hoping that this guy takes us onwards and gets this 55 or all the other trophies that are available to us. Just go out and do it. If he could make it this season, then brilliant. Just go for it. But you'll not hear me saying anything bad about him anyway. I think he's a fantastic. What a difference our club is. What a difference our team is. What a difference our support is. Because all of us can look back and we wondered when it was all going to change. And here it's changed.
The only negative thing on the Coutinho thing, guys, is apart from being a big mistake, you know, employing the guy, he's put us a year behind probably where we would be right now. You know, if we'd have got,
I don't know, mate.
In hindsight.
I don't know, mate. It's right. Funny. Let's say McInnes had come in. Let's use that as a maybe, yeah?
Right, yeah.
If you broke McInnes for in and you did 3 years of McInnes, would you be where you're now? I don't think you would be.
No chance.
No.
I just think sometimes in life,
a bit of luck.
A bit of luck, mate.
Aye.
It's ultimately worked out well for us. Port Bear, before we go to the
Yeah,
tune,
yeah.
there's a couple of callers coming into the tune. I think you get an announcement on the women's football, who are also top of the league.
Aye, our fantastic ladies football team beat Hearts, I believe, 5-1. So, what we're looking to do is and Rangers Radio are looking to start.
No, no, you've got an announcement. You've got it on the call. Don't get carried away with yourself.
Oh.
Read what you printed. Announced for the club today. Rangers Football Club are delighted. You posted it.
I can't find it, mate. Sorry.
Come on, partner, what are you up to?
I know. Oh, sorry. Rangers FC are delighted to be. Sorry, Ox. Rangers FC are delighted to be supporting Scottish Women and Girls in Sport Week 2020. Rangers soccer academies are at the forefront of raising participation levels among girls and host regular girls sessions which are free of charge to try. There you are.
Brilliant. And Rangers Radio's doing their bit because we've got Linda on tomorrow night, Bridgeman.
Well done. Looking forward to that, that's for sure.
We're a radio station for everyone and anyone.
Exactly.
All right, lads, get yourself a mute. We've got a couple of callers coming in after the tune. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Rocks, over slopes and great grandstands, and I dreamed about the Rangers, the best team in the land. When my memory suggested of a vision bright and clear of the strange things that would happen if we had the Rangers here. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill and Brian Loudon came from Sandy Road and Alistair Price came from East Belfast and old Belfast became then Old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, sure no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roll, and all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. I dreamed about her Ulster men who wore the shirt of blue, Bertie Manderton, Sam English, Norrie Hamilton, McCandless too. I have dreamed of Whitey MacDonald, who came from Lisburn town, and the greatest, Billy Simpson, who never let them down. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill and Brian Loudon came from Sandy Road and Ali McCoist came from East Belfast and then old Belfast became Old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, then no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roam, all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had Glasgow Rangers over here.
I know you like that one, Rich.
Oh, yes. And Alistair McCoy came from East Belfast. And old Belfast become old Glasgow. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
It's quite a catchy tune. Anyway, we're just waiting for a couple of callers coming in. Dave, this season...
I'm still here.
Aye, I know. Dave, this season, we're optimistic. The games are coming thick and fast. What's your expectations? Your expectation, Dave? Big Dave for Edinburgh. What's he predicting?
Well, my expectation is to win the... Hello? I'm there. My expectation is to win the league this year. I'm there.
Okay, mate. All right, there's somebody coming in. Just a caller coming in.
Oh, right.
Dave, I'll take it.
Sorry. Aye.
That's all right. No, how are we doing, caller?
Aye, is that me?
Aye, I'll come back to you in a minute, Dave. Take the caller. How are we doing, caller?
How are you doing?
All right, what's your name, mate?
Mark.
All right, Mark. First time on?
Aye, first time on here, mate, aye.
All right, mate. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to jump in and talk about what you were saying about Gerrard. I mean, he is the man, isn't he? He really is. I mean...
He's not quite as sophisticated as Bridge, and he's not as handsome as Port Bear. He's not got a lot going for him, really, Gerrard, is he, really?
What a shocker.
He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude, Mark, isn't he?
He's doing the job. It's took us a long time to get back to where we need to be, and we're still not there yet. We're far from it. By God, man, we're moving, aren't we? We're moving.
We're in a better place.
We are the people.
We come in the door,
definitely, absolutely. I just want to give a big shout out to you all. You're doing a great job on this radio station, by the way.
Right, okay, Mark. How long have you been listening?
I've been listening a couple of times now. This is my first time phoning in, but... Aye, and just, wow. You know what I mean? Are
you in the lobby, Mark? Are you in the lobby at all?
No.
Do you log? No, you don't log in anywhere, no. Okay.
I'm independent. I'm myself. If you want to follow me, Tweet Me Your Tunes on Twitter.
What was that,
me there.
What was that?
At Tweet Me Your Tunes.
Your tunes?
Tweet Me Your Tunes.
Tweet Me Your Tunes.
It's a website.
On Twitter.
Okay. On Twitter.
On Twitter, sorry.
I'll get the boys on Twitter and have a look at that, mate. Right, listen, Mark, thanks for calling in.
Fantastic.
You may have been Gerrard, mate.
Fantastic. You take care, lads.
Cheers, Mark.
Cheers, Mark. Brilliant to hear you, pal.
We are the people.
Indeed we are.
Cheers.
Back to you, Dave, to finish your point, mate.
Aye, no, I'm expecting us to win the league this year and a cup. I think we can do it. I think we're good enough to do it.
Okay.
We just keep the heat, keep the heat, and we'll do it.
The names and the sentiment, I 100% agree with. I don't know, and myself, I don't know if I feel, excuse me, that I think they're going to win it. I hope like hell we're going to win it. I do hope like hell we're going to win it. And I think we've got the ability to go and do it. We just need to follow on, and keep everything going.
Okay, we've been joined by one of the up-and-coming stars of Rangers Radio, the one of the top voices. We'll be joined by Alex from Wishaw. Evening, Alex.
Good evening, lads. Another fantastic show.
How you doing, bro?
Oh, I've had a great way to call it a couple of weeks. I'm sure you're all the same.
Yes, indeed, Alex. Yes, indeed.
It's been fantastic. What a turnaround, eh?
Oh, mate, I'll turn that frown upside down, innit?
Oh, it's like night and day. The pendulum has turned out.
Do you genuinely feel that, Alex? Do you feel it?
Without a doubt. Oh. I'm no overconfident about it. Just the way the team's playing. Fantastic football. Fantastic. I've been thinking there when you caught along the lines there. Last year, the year before that, you'd been thinking about a Rangers player trying to get in the Celtic team, and you'd have found it very difficult. But I think now, I don't think any Celtic player will get into a Rangers team. That's how much it's turned round about.
I tell you what, they wouldn't get any. They wouldn't get our team 40.
Oh, you're right enough there, but I'm talking about the football side. Nah. We're so far. As I say, what do you call it? One game at a time now. This is what it's about. And we can go in there and what do you call it? I think we've got to make it a special team.
Port Vale, special team. High praise indeed for your Alex. I lost Port Vale. He'll be getting his P45 bridge.
Yeah, but his wife would make him make dinner or something, or coffee or something like that. Yeah, that's what would happen. He knows he gets
special team.
Special team. We are a special team, and the man's building a really good squad, and I hope he keeps going with it. Obviously, we've got quite a lot of people, players wise, so quite a large pool. I don't know whether every single one of them are going to be involved in a lot of games, but my God, there's some quality there. And you know, the surprises he's thrown at us, Barker coming in a couple of times. We would never have thought of Barker playing for us. All of a sudden he's playing. The manager is absolutely superb. His coaching staff are a second to none. They've got to be the best management, coaching staff team, and you know, in my opinion, certainly in Scotland. Certainly in Scotland.
Yep. Here.
Can I have one tiny criticism of our coaching staff? And it's only something that rankles with me. People might say it differently. I'll take it to you, Alex. I don't think we're brilliant in possession, both throw-ins and defending them. Just a small thing I watch.
Well, no, it's a fair comment. But I think we can, if you consider where we've came from, that, you know, that is really, what do you call it? Picking at the bottom there.
Aye, it's a small thing. Small thing.
But the football itself, Dave King's got to take a lot of credit as well here for bringing Stevie Gerrard in. The guys, he went a couple of years to build his team, and this is what's happening. We're getting the fruits of it now.
Kenny, a bit of patience, and it will get us where we want to be.
Bad patience, but I'm going to stick my neck out and say I think we'll do the treble this season.
Oh.
I think they'll qualify for the last stages of the Europa League as well. And I'm only going with evidence I see so far. You know, this is a team that really fight for each other. And I said it last week, incidentally. It's the most.
Can you turn your volume up a bit, Kenny? You're very quiet for some people.
I'll try to talk later. The most exciting team I've seen since probably Ardicat's team in the late 90s, you know. Footballing wise, you know, anyway, definitely. And I get back to the early 70s, you know what I mean? I've seen the trebles in the 70s and whatever, you know. But this team, the football they play is tremendous, you know. On form, you know. They really are a joy to watch. And I just honestly can't see, and it's not through the blue tinted glasses. I honestly don't see any team in Scotland stopping us winning any cup this season, the Scottish Cup and the League Cup, and getting to the latter stages of the Europa League. And then it comes down to the luck of the draw. I think that's how highly I rate this team. And Gerrard, you know, to me is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, you know. You get back, as I say, get back to the first Old Firm game, you know. That day we were so unlucky to lose that game. And we dominated really, apart from the 2-0 defeat, and tactically that day got a wee bit wrong, but, you know, his record's phenomenal. You know, the guys, you know, the budget we've had as well, you know, given their big budget, you know, and, you know, it's miraculous stuff. It's actually miraculous. Roy the Rovers, you know what I mean?
Big Dave. There's a lot of ingredients in this cake, isn't there? There's a management team, there's the players, but there's a big constant, the big mix in this whole thing. The support have bought into it.
Oh, aye. Still getting up the money for the season tickets.
Exactly.
The sponsors, that's been a big help as well. The strips, everything. There's a load of sponsors coming in. They're doing a great job. The whole backroom lot, getting the sponsors in. Dave King, obviously, special mention. You know, it's just been, since Gerrard's come in, it's just been good news all the way.
And we've got that oligarch sitting in the background just in case, Bridgeman now, in case anything happens.
You're a shocker, you.
You got a spare 20 million of you?
Mate, that's behind the couch, mate. Loose change.
20 pence? Is that 20 pence you're talking about?
Loose change. Port Bear, are you back with us?
You'll be doing the dishes now, that's for sure.
Well, a man's
Can I just say, Oxter, how many fans are questioning Gerrard getting rid of Candeias now? Nobody. When they were questioning getting rid of Candeias, he kens what he's doing. I've been saying it all along. He knows what he's doing. He's building a team. He's building a squad. He's improving the team. Transfer window by transfer window.
I didn't mind Candeias. He worked hard for us, but Gerrard didn't think he was quite the quality we were looking for.
There was a lot of fans say that he shouldn't have got rid of him, but he kens what he's doing. He's improving the team. He's improving the team bit by bit, and he'll improve the team even further.
Bridgeman knows I would never get rid of Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller. Oh dear. Right, last call.
What was that?
There.
Similar between him and Jones, Candeias and Jones, I reckon, you know. Two of them for quite similar, actually, you know. But listen, I'm going to wrap this up with you guys. What a pleasure again to be on here tonight with you all, you know, great guys, and love listening to you.
Cheers, Kerry.
Could I say hello to my two daughters? Hello,
Aye.
Natalie. Love you. Hi, Lauren. Love you. And to our partner, Craig. Great news. Fine goes everywhere, home and away. Look after my daughter.
You've done it now. You've given them a shout out, mate.
And last but not least, my beautiful granddaughter. Hi, Sarah. Love you.
Oh, well, we're the whole family. No mention Bridgeman once. Cheers, Kenny. All the best, mate.
Right, lovely talking to you guys.
Cheers, Kenny.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Kenny. All the best, mate. All the best.
Oh, you're back. I was on the Waltons there when he was good with everybody there.
Brilliant. We are the people. Take care, guys. It's a pleasure. Good night.
Are you back with us, Port Bear?
Yes, mate. Sorry. Yes.
Right. You got the dishes finished?
No, I had to change my mic.
You sorted, mate. You sorted.
Sorted now. Yeah, it's all right. Can you hear me all right?
Aye. Online's very frustrating at times, mate, innit?
Aye, it was almost a claw hammer coming out, mate. Yeah.
Did you get your dishes done, pal?
Aye. You can kid us on, Bridgeman. We've seen it all before, haven't we?
That's what a claw hammer's for. Daily dishes. I just smash them and put them in the bin. She sneaked out, so I just smashed them on and put them in the bin.
Don't be fooled, mate. Putting a box, that's for the Waynes for jigsaws for Christmas. Oh dear. Right, Alex. Have we got to watch that we don't get? We're running before we walk. We've done nothing yet, apart from maybe qualify for the Europa League stages. Thursday's a big game for us. One at home, we're in a good place to qualify, and then it becomes absolutely massive. And a game against Kilmarnock becomes massive.
No, you're 100% right. This is it's game to game. You know, we don't want to be going too far in front, but the way we're playing, you'd expect us really to get a result. I don't think we've got a problem on Thursday, to be quite truthful. I think we could maybe win 2-0 there. I don't want to go too far. The Rugby Park, we know ourselves down there with the surface and that. That's not the ideal place. If I was going down that way, I would play definitely Jordan Jones, because he's used to that surface. So I would play there. Bickerlander, absolutely fantastic centre half. He's probably really called one of my favourites at the moment, but I'm not too sure about playing him down there either, to be quite truthful, because I can recall going to Livingston there. I think it was last year, maybe the year before that, and he doesn't look too comfortable on that kind of surface. But these are the kind of things that we're going to draw up in front of us, and we're going to win a championship. But that surface down there, every time I see it, I was there when Jamie Murphy get carried off as well, like, and I watched it there on Saturday night.
Black corner as well.
Right, and there's a guy get carried. I was sitting with my wife there watching it on Saturday night, highlights, and there's another player get street stabbed in there. So this is a problem I've got. That's how, what do you call it, I would play the guys, what do you call it, better get a chance on that, what do you call it, surface, like Jordan Jones. I would just unleash him down there. But that's just my opinion, really, you know. But
yep.
It's definitely game to game. Game to game.
I've got a different...
On you go, Port.
I think Rangers seem to be with a bit between their teeth. They're playing really, really well. You know, they seem to be able to control games. Just look at the last 4 results. It's nothing flashy, you know, it's 2-0 results, but it's very, very comfortable. 2-0 results. They seem to have that bit between their teeth where when they get that lead, you know, they can hold it. And not only that, mate, we knew seem to have found a way to sort this conundrum of breaking this low block. You know, you've said it many times on the show in regards to Hadji. You said the first time he played Livingston, that was his sort of game, because he's the guy that can find these wee pockets of space that other Rangers players can't seem to find. And, you know, you were proven right at the weekend when he sets up Aribo. So I think, go to Kilmarnock, I think you play the same side. I know we've got these guys that, you know, Barisic, who allegedly don't like playing these games, but, you know, Big Bassie's there. If he's needed, he's needed. But if your full team's fit, mate, play them, because our back five at the moment have been very consistent and played together a lot. And, you know, you've got the mobility of Kamara.
I think the thing about it is, I think if you're really honest about Sunday, Gerrard will not think about that to 10 o'clock on Thursday night, mate.
Probably not. You're probably right, mate. You're probably bang on.
Yeah.
He'll not know what he's got, because it's important for the club that we get that 3 points on Thursday and we're moving to go through it again.
Now, you know, I always say it on here, mate, and, you know, I always get pelters for it, but, you know, the Europa League's gravy to me, mate. 55 is what I want, and I strongly believe.
£540,000 earned last Thursday night, mate.
I know that financial money helps, and we'll need it next year when we win 55 and we get in the Champions League, mate. It will definitely be needed to upgrade our squad further. But a team that's hard to beat next year, I now believe teams find it. I think their managers now are sitting thinking how they stop us. I really do, mate, because the goals are coming from all over the place. And do you know what it's needing? It's for wee Alpha to get his goal. And then when that boy goes on the goal trail again, already adding to what our boys and throughout the squad are adding, we're going to be a frightening prospect, mate, for anybody.
All right, I would play Morelos on Sunday. What about you, Alex?
Yes, definitely.
Both games. I would play both games.
Me too. Me too, pal.
He's got to get that goal, mate, isn't he? He's got to get that goal, because that's all he needs.
That goal, that'll set him off. He's doing a lot of good work. Throwing the centre half so around about and that, so that's another bit to his game he's got now.
I think that's a tactic.
All last year.
I think that's a tactic, mate. I really do. I think that's tactical, what he's been asked to do.
Yes.
I really do.
Yeah, you're right. But what do you call it? You're relying on him there last year. It's just too much for the bloke, you know, at the end up. And now there's goals all over the ship. And that'll enhance him. He'll come on a little better as well now. He'll get his first goal and he'll take off.
Oh, I can ask you, what do you think of Morelos' new role? What's your thoughts on it? Or do you think that's been asked of him, or do you think he's, you know, dropping deep through frustration for not scoring? What's your opinion on it, mate?
I think there's been tactical for him to step out to move the centre halves to leave space for runners to go in there. I think it's been very cute. It seems to be a big trend. I think Mourinho's doing it with Harry Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably one of the finest centre forwards about at the moment for some people. But I think
Welcome to the EE voicemail.
I think sometimes he chases the ball through of frustration, but I think when he's playing in that hole and he steps out, it's something we've worked on, mate.
So the old false number 9 thing, was a famous thing with Barcelona, wasn't it? That's where it sort of started. But it's definitely working, mate, you're right.
I think Alfie needs a goal for his confidence. I know people will say that he doesn't want to be here. I don't know. When I seen his reactions to Golson's goal, when Golson put the ball through what's his name's legs for the second one,
Duffer.
It didn't look to me as if it was somebody that didn't want to be there. Alex?
Yeah. What do you call it? As I say, you're right. If he needs a goal, not what do you call it, settle him down a wee bit. But he's definitely his teamwork. You see what do you call it, as you say, they're all scoring goals, are on it together. The game the other night there, at the very end with the wee punch up and all that carry on, that tells you how much these guys are on it. 100% together with each other. And it's great. Competition's the main thing at Rangers now. Because you've got to be top of your game here, because you can play anybody here. That's what I say the last couple of weeks. It's all about the squad. Quality's all over the bench. You can bring guys in. He can come in and change it round a bit.
I don't know if we can class that as a punch-up. We had a bigger punch-up before the show about the donuts. You know what I mean? And Bridgeman won as usual, didn't he, Port Bear? He always gets the salted caramel donuts, and me and Port get left for the jam ones.
You don't like them, don't you know?
I don't know. I don't get a chance.
Have you two, Bridgeman?
No, just the one for me.
Don't be fooled. Listen, there's nothing wrong with Bridges' appetite. It's just his arithmetic rubbish.
Listen, Port Bear went missing 3 times tonight. We know where the donuts went.
All right, I juked to the toilet and I had one.
Anyway, we've been joined by AK. How are we doing, Alex? Too many Alexes on the night. How are we doing, Alex?
Hi, Alex. All right, pal?
How you doing? All right, mate. How's it going?
That's better. I've tried to sort out my volume here. It keeps coming in dead loud for these other times. I don't want to scare Bridge anymore.
If you weren't scared, you have scared him. He's disappeared, mate. Just oh, he's back in. Send him a signed photo. Send him a signed photo. I'm sure that'll scare him.
He's a legend, though, the man, isn't he?
Oh, mate, you've never seen anybody eat donuts. Well, I'll say it again. You've never seen anybody eat so many free donuts as him. Have you, Port Bear?
No, never. Never.
You two, what are you going on at me for?
You stick up for yourself, Bridge.
Bridgeman, sponsored by Krispy Kreme.
Welcome to the EE voice.
Right, what's on your mind, Alex?
Oh, well, listen, you've had plenty of Garys on at the same time, so I noticed Alex phoning in there. So I thought it would give you some problems, and with 2 Alex on the night.
Don't be a smart Alec.
Listen, I was wanting to stick up for wee Alfie. He's getting a lot of stick off of some Bears because he's not been scoring lately, but think about it. See, the last 2 years, we've been so really reliant on him scoring the goals for us. Now he's no scoring. He's getting some criticism, but everybody else is contributing. You know what I mean? So we're putting ourselves in great positions in the league and the run and everything that we're having in Europe. But, you know, the focal point is still Alfie. It's a different Alfie that we've got now. So I think he deserves a bit of credit and a wee bit of slack off of some Bears.
I don't think he's playing badly. He's made some mistakes, but he's still working hard. I think he looks, and I'll take this to Dave first of all, he just looks a wee bit void of confidence to me.
He's just needing a goal. But I agree with the guys. He's tweaked it a bit. He's coming back a bit more, opening up space for the other guys. It's no coincidence that we've scored goals all over the park. All the defenders have scored. All the midfielders have scored. You know what I mean? All the forwards have scored. So it's no coincidence that since he's tweaked it a bit with him coming back, breaking this low block down or whatever you call it, we're scoring more goals now. It's no just Morelos getting the goals now. It's all over the pitch, and it's helping the team. So if we keep winning, I don't care if we don't. If we keep winning, I don't care if he doesn't score another goal for the rest of the season.
I've got a point there, Alex. Number one.
What one's that?
You're number two. You're number two.
Oh, been demoted already.
Oh, for God's sake. I'm not going to argue with there, one or two. No, what do you call it? I agree there. Oh, Mary.
Oh, I'll cut across you, Alex. I hope this isn't another Alex, but we're just calling you all. How we doing, caller?
Not bad, lads. How you doing?
What's your name, mate? Don't tell me it's Alex.
John.
John, thanks, Ray. How we doing, John? What's on your mind?
No, I've just finished work, so I've only caught the last 5 minutes of the show, but first time caller, so...
All right.
Just thought I'd phone up and say what a good service you are doing for the Gers every night.
Thanks very much, mate. I appreciate it, mate. How long have you been listening?
I think the first night I listened was after the Europa League game at home with Lokomotiv Moscow.
All right, okay. Okay, mate, that's going back.
Aye.
Oh, that's going back 2 years now.
I know, I've said to myself hundreds of nights, I'm going to phone tonight, but I've just never got into it.
All right, aye. Well, how do you think it's gone this season? How do you think the team's faring up? What's your thoughts?
I mean, really, I think, 55's coming this year, boys, man, that's a set.
All right, you're that confident, aye? No doubts? No doubts, John, no? Oh, he's disappeared. Oh, well, another Barrett's confident. Alex...
I think he was jogging.
He was, mate, but it sounds it. That's the first time that's ever happened in this show, a live jogger.
Poor guy's out of breath. He's probably just killed over it because he's pure desperate phoning out Rangers radio.
Or he ran across the road and got hit with a bus.
Behave yourself.
You came with the joggers are like they didn't look where they're gone.
If something's happened to him, that'll be his last words. 55's coming. There we
go. We'll settle for that. We'll settle for that, mate.
You know. Right, where are we? Alex, number two.
Down to me, is it? Right. I was going to say the last time I was out of breath, I was watching a blue movie. It was a Rangers one, right enough.
Listen, I'm just going to give you a wee tip on here. I do the gags and there's a reason for that. You're not very good at it. Oh. Right, hurry up, come on.
Oh, the banter.
Oh, jeez, I've lost my point. Oh, carry on with it.
Come on, Alex.
You want a donut, Alex?
Aye, he's one off the bridge, man, would you?
No chance.
He'll phone you the morning's night for his hospital bed.
You're no chance of a donut off a bridge, mate. No chance, mate.
Oh, listen, the team's looking good when we're getting goals for all areas. I think that the only two outfield players that haven't scored this year has been Davis and Kamara. I think you've got goals for all round the team, so it's great watching it, seeing everybody do their jobs to what the manager's telling them. But listen, see if you've ever seen that Steven Gerrard documentary they done on him. It showed you him growing up for the boy. It gives you an idea of the character of the guy. He's been a born winner for his school days. His whole family life, his whole Liverpool life is all about winning. So at last he's getting that mentality through to the players, and hopefully he's lifting us a couple of trophies, at least 2, by the end of the season. But I'm loving the hurt that it's causing Lennon across the city and Brown across the city. Every time they're going out in front of the media now, you can see the hurt. That's the hurt that we've been suffering for the last 9 years. So long may it continue.
You're on a slow pain, mate. It just shows you. But enough about them. point about Gerrard being a winner. He is a winner, but you get different types of winner. He's a classy individual, Port Bear. In fact, if I'm being honest, he reminds me a lot of myself.
I think he's one of them guys, mate. You're not going to see him, fist pumping his chest, and he's a classy individual, mate. He's confident in his ability. He's confident in his ability as a manager. And he knows he's getting it. He knows he's getting this right, mate. In my opinion, and he knows he's not far away from completing this jigsaw and taking us to this title. And I can't wait to see. I always remember his celebration, mate, at Parkhead when they get the first victory there. Can you imagine that guy when he delivers and he's running around Ibrox? I hope we're all in there at the time, because the emotion will pour out that guy, mate, because he's desperate as we are. He's born to Rangers, mate. He's got the Rangers bug, in my opinion, but he's a classy individual, and he'll do it his way, or basically be, and he'll deliver 55, and you waiting to see the outpour of emotion from our gaffer. It'll be outstanding, mate.
Alex, number one. I think he's a classy individual. I think he's a winner. But he's also learned through a wee bit some of his mistakes. I mean, obviously, it's easy after the game, but he has learned his mistakes, hasn't he?
Oh, definitely. When he came into the job, everybody knew what he call it. He was going to make mistakes here and there. But this is what it's about. It was a 3-year project. They explained at the beginning. Big Gary McAllister and all that stays out our way in your Hull. All Rangers family, So they know what it's all about, these guys. It's coming in and just trying to get the players. The players there that obviously was trying to move on, and they hadn't the complete money to bring the top quality he's got there now. And this is where he's getting there now with all the players. He's going out there earmarking players, and that's who they go for. They're bringing them in. It's just like a jigsaw, as I said before. They pick players in, they know exactly the system they're playing, what roles everybody's doing, and they're good there, and they're going to be winners. Because Stevie Gerrard was a winner.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point you make. And Dave, you made a point about Candeias. As we bring people in, there's going to be guys that we're all raving about this now. They're going to get punted.
Favourites.
There's no room for sentiment.
No. I mean, especially if he wins the league this year, which I think we will, and win a cup, and then we're in. We don't go straight into the Champions League, but you're in the qualifiers. He's going to make the team even better again. He's going to. I think he sees a good player, but also the players that we had he's kept. He's made them better as well. He's made them far better than what they were.
Alex,
a bit like Klopp, what Klopp does at Liverpool. He makes them better. Gerrard's the same. He's made the players better. Might not just be Gerrard on his own, the coaching staff as well. But they've made the players a lot better than what they were. That's for sure. Look at Ryan Jack. His games went up tenfold.
I get your point. If you look at the 3 players that are there for that Katina team 3 years ago, there's Bareilles.
Tav's in the form of his life.
Alex, number 2. Good point by Dave there.
It was a good point, Dave. I would also throw Kamara into that bracket as well. The difference in Kamara, if Gerrard had a look at him, he's been absolutely fantastic. Davis has actually got a second wind because he sees the standard of the young boys run about him.
Sir
Stephen, sorry. Alan McGregor is the same. It's all about standards. The standard has been raised, and it's up to the better players to raise their standard to win that shirt. You get that shirt thrown at you. Look at Scotty Arfield. He's come in. He's took his chance. The boy's been absolutely fantastic. I would say he's one of the first players in the team now that Gerrard has him the way he's been playing. So
Barisic, he stuck with Barisic as well. Barisic was gone through a poor spell. He stuck with him. They've made him better. Look how good Barisic is now.
I think Barisic has improved because of Bassey on his tail.
He improved before Bassey came as well, though.
No, you're right. but I think he's improved again because he's got Bassey breathing down his neck. Big Bassey's come in and he's been outstanding.
I'll tell you what, Big Bassey's got some attitude about him, Alex.
Fantastic.
Yeah. He's got some attitude about him.
Yeah.
As a young boy, he'll. I don't know if that'll be his position. As he develops, he could move into play a modern centre half. Port Bear.
He's definitely got my ability, mate. You know, and he's an absolute unit. He's, you know, incredible Hulk, mate. You know, that's what I call him. He's great attributes. He's got pace, power. You know, and eventually, as he develops, I mean, a lot of young centre halves sometimes they learn their trade out at right and left back, but that's only to get their close control. And as he develops into, you know, I'm going to say his man body, so he's going to get bigger and adds a few other inches to his cell. He could be an absolute, you know, monster at centre back, mate. And in that position, we're, you know, very strong at the moment. Still got Katis to come back. I would actually like to see him, mate, stay and develop at left back, because I think, you know, that boy, he's an absolute machine. Is he technically good at the moment as Borna? Probably not. No. But he's learning half a Croatian international, mate. So he's in a good place to learn. He's got, you know, Balogun international, Hollander international. Our boys, young boys at the club, are in a good place to develop, mate. You know, and it must be a great place to go and learn your trade right now at Ibrox under Steven Gerrard, which is icing on the cake for me, mate.
That's a good point, Bridgeman, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think you get any two guys that play the same position who play different. Barisic and Bassey are two different types altogether.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. You know, I think Bassey's going to be. I mean, he's only a young lad, you know. I think he's going to be an outstanding left back. Outstanding. He's got a lot to learn. He's just raw talent at the moment and raw strength. My goodness, and you watch the way Barisic runs with the ball on his left foot. Absolutely superb, and he's really good at cutting in and things like that. So I would say he's European class, definitely top European class footballer. Bassey's a bit to go, but I think I can see it from his future. Oh my God, what a player! What a player! Brilliant.
I mean, the last time there was such a comparison in football, Bridge, was that you had yourself and Fox. One was cultured, good at reading the game. One could pass it.
You're making me blush.
And then there was you.
You're making me blush.
Hold the rug for under him there.
Oh dear. We'll be interested to see how Bassey develops. I think the pleasing thing from your point of view, Alex, number one, is that if something happens to Borna, ladies getting upset.
Well, that's correct. He's definitely got the potential to go the full hog, but he's got some mentors round about him. If you're talking there left back or centre back, two centre halves here, what do you call it? Goldstein and what do you call it? Hollander. Imagine them, what do you call it, getting into training every day with them and showing you. It's only a young boy. I think he's only 21, isn't he?
No, I don't even know if he is that.
I think he's 19.
19, there you go. Imagine him, what do you call it, left back. If he's running down that wing full pelt, and the defenders is coming at him. He's got all the football. He's got the body. He's quick in his feet. He's got it all. I don't think Leicester City were too keen on what do you call it, try to get when Rangers come in to buy him.
No, they tried to keep him, mate. You're right.
There you go. That's the potential. So that's what I'm trying to say to Stevie Gerrard, what do you call it, and the coaching staff. They're picking guys that they can know that's going to take the team to another level. And the guys that was there before, I agree with what you call it, Dave there, he's made what you call it, the players that were there previous, but they've jumped up another standard. And this is what it's about. He's come in there and went, we can keep him, we can keep him, we can keep him. We'll go for them. And that's what it's about, all man management skills.
Talking about guys at a different level, talking about people at a different level, we've been joined by George E.K.
Georgie boy.
All right, lad. All right, lad.
Yes, man.
All right. How we doing, George?
Yeah, I'm doing dandy, mucker. I just got to say, I was telling you how much we progressed by week. I was just noticing something on my phone the other on there. See, last year and we in Europa League, we pure pumped out of Midtjylland. Liverpool only beating them 1-0 in the Champions League, so that shows you how much we progressed. You know what I'm talking about?
Good point, mate. Good point.
Good point, mate.
And that game's not got long to go, actually, by the way, you know what I mean?
We absolutely
No,
destroyed them.
half time it was 0-0, and I'm sure we were beating them 2-0 at half time. I mean, but I'm just saying, man, I think we're going to win. Honestly, I agree with a lot of the guys' points tonight, man. I think Bassey's brand new. I think the boy, I think he's going to come on leaps and bounds. I really do, man. You can just see it in the boy, man. He's full of it, man. He knows he can beat people, man. Push them out the road, man. And he's got ability and all. But I wouldn't say he's got the same ability as Barisic, man, but he's no shy for a tackle. Not I'm talking about Barisic is a bit shy for a tackle, you know what I mean? But I think, honestly, I'm going to go for another 2-0 this week, man. I really do.
Oh, I love it, George. I love it.
2-0.
You keep doing that, George, because you're good at it.
I'll cut across you. George, can I cut across you, mate? We've been joined by caller. How we doing, caller?
Not bad. I was on 10 minutes ago, but my phone died. It's John.
John the Jogger. It's John the Jogger.
We thought you had died, John.
You've been hit with a bus. I'm on the wife's phone now.
We heard you doing your last words were 55 is coming.
As long as it's no John the Dogger.
Hey!
First time phoning and my phone cuts it.
Oh, well, that's... I get told there was a woman coming in. You must be on your missus's phone, is that right?
Aye, I'm on her phone, yeah. Mine's the battery died, so I was like, I've just got onto Rangers radio. She's like, you look all excited. I was wondering it was up with you.
Fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you.
When that happens to Bridge, man, he has to go on mute.
Aye, I thought I better phone back so they don't think I'm at the wind up. Brilliant.
Well, listen, lads, we can stop putting that sheet around for John.
Aye.
Where did you get to, John?
I was walking along the road. I never finished work till 9 o'clock, so. And I live out in Gaelic Head, so it was a bit of a 20-25 minute walk along the road.
Right, okay, mate. Right, what was your point you're making before you disappeared on us? Can you remember?
I've not really heard the show tonight, so I don't really know what you've been talking about, but just said, great feeling all week.
We'll be doing astrophysics tonight, mate. You any thoughts on it?
I don't know about that, man. No too clued up in the old astrophysics, to be honest.
Well, the point that Port Bear made is how much Gerrard's improved us.
Oh, I mean, it's unbelievable. I've got a good feeling we're going to win the title this year, but see, even if we did win a thing, I would still want Gerrard to stay. You know, the difference since he came in, the total rehaul of the squad, the confidence, everything. I mean, I don't know about you boys, but getting into work the last couple of days, just getting it right up all the time, you work with, you know what I mean?
Chest out.
Aye,
listen, guys,
you know what I mean?
Can I ask everybody else here if we get my pride back?
Not yet, mate.
Not yet?
Right. Not yet, mate. You need things in a cupboard, mate.
Right, understand that, but as in walking into work, etc., like John's touching on here, you know, I think we're getting my pride back, mate, slowly but surely, but I understand what you're saying. Until we put that silverware in that cabinet, aye, I get what you mean, mate, understand. Cheers.
We're the world's most successful football club, driven on winning, mate, and it's got to come back. Look, have we got our self-respect back? Yeah.
Right, maybe that's better phrased, yeah.
Aye. Mm-hmm. George EK, we've always been proud to be Rangers supporters, haven't we?
Totally, man. And the self-respect and pride is definitely back. It's proved in the way we're playing football. We're playing excellent football. Since Gerrard came in here, man, he started off, man, saying it would take a couple of years, and he's been bang on. And the football is a pure pleasure to watch. The way we flick the ball about. And I'll tell you, Morelos, I think that is tactical and all. Because I said before and all, he's touching the ball is excellent. A couple of times there, he kind of messed up a couple of times, you know what I mean? But usually, he gets the ball, hodges it well, and his passing's usually excellent. I know his first time passing. So I think it is tactical, and I would love to see him score again, man. I hope he scores a pure rasper by him, man, to shut people up.
Can you hear me? Listen, you let young George know I've got him a parking space and his land for the games, mate.
Very good. That's brilliant, by the way. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's still closer where he was parking.
Yeah, I can't even talk to him about that. He's like, shut up, da, shut up. Keep my brass neck in the radio.
That's for Job, George, to embarrass him, innit?
That's that. That's my job and all.
That's for Job, to embarrass him. No.
He's still up there, and that's that.
Here. Alex, this project, it was a 4-year deal. That's what we were told at the start. We're just over halfway. We're nearly halfway into this league campaign. We know we're only 1 point better off than we were last year. What's brought us optimism? What do you think it is?
I think it's just the belief that he's injected into the players. Last year, we call it was a hiccup. We come back from Dubai, we don't know what and on there. We come back, we're in the same team. So the players know exactly what's at stake for first and foremost for themselves, for their performances, the club, and also remember it's the 50th year of the Irish disaster in January, so we've got big things here. These guys know what the club's all about now, and I think this is definitely going to be our year. I know you don't want to say too much in case it comes back, but there's a steal about this team now. Everybody knows it's so different, and there are winners in there. For Stevie Davis and that, you're trying to keep these guys that come in at the beginning to show them what the play with Rangers is all about. And I honestly think this is going to be the 55. Yeah.
Alex, number 2. Sounds like that. Gosh.
Oh, well said, Alex. I couldn't have said it better myself. But aye, very good. Listen, I'm watching Champions League, as George touched on earlier there. Mind that team Porto we played last year and we got past?
I remember them well.
They're winning 2-0 tonight in the Champions League, so that's another indication of the level where we can get to. So just other wee factors, it gives us indication and then benchmarks where we can get to and where we've been. So listen, it's night and day, as the guys have said. The standards have been raised. It's all about standard now, and ours has been raised and theirs is dropped. So let's keep it going, as a Bridgeman would say.
Teams don't want the players in Europe anymore, Oxshare, I don't think. Sorry, Jim, mate. I don't think teams when they see us in their group sections of the season, what the pots, I think teams now are starting to dread when we're in their, section. I think we're becoming a very experienced European side that people don't like playing against. I really believe that, mate.
All right, we've been joined by Andy for Leeds. Evening, Andy.
Good evening, boys. Everybody okay?
Andy boy.
Yeah. Just coming on from the couple of points I want to throw in there. See if this Sunger turns out to be a good player. Who's going out of the team for him, in your opinion?
That's the point. If he is better than what we've got, and we don't know yet, only time will tell, somebody who we like is going to go out the team. So Stephen Davis, Kamara, Jack, somebody's going out the team.
As long as it's not Jack.
As long as it's not Sir Stephen Davis.
I'm not bothered as long as it's no Jack. And the other one is, we were talking about Bassey, although it's a raw age, I think he's an actual better defender than Barisic. Barisic gets too far in front at times, and see when there's a real battle on there, I don't think he's quite got the heart for it. I mean, that guy in the European game was toasting him till he went off, and Bassey just owned that guy, and he owned that left-hand side, didn't he?
Completely different style of players, Andy, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, definitely. I would sooner have a good defender like that, because I think we've got enough quality around the team that could, create the chances.
I think I'll go to Port Berberis. Our fullbacks are so important in their tactics. They need to be able to play.
Formation we play, Andy, alright mate, how we doing? Formation we play, we really rely on, I mean, our fullbacks are, in my opinion, our outball. If you look at the assists, I touched on Tav's assist earlier on, 80 assists in his career at Rangers, and Barisic, is probably not far behind that either, maybe 30, 40, maybe into the 50s. I've not actually checked that one out. But they're our outball, Andy. And if you look at the quality that Barisic puts in, he's not just throwing balls in, mate. He's cutting back to the penalty spot for, when Kent scored, he places it into their feet, mate. He's not just hitting and hoping. And Barisic is a great player. I understand what you're saying about Big Bassey, but it could come to, horses for courses. There's some games that might be suited for Bassey, and there's some games that will be suited for Borna. But in the style we play, we need two full-backs that can deliver quality, because it is with outball, and that's where you've got your Kamara and Jack who fill in when these two guys are bombing forward, mate. That's just the system they play, and it's working. So I don't think Bassey's getting any time soon, mate.
No, I don't think that myself. But I see if Barisic took an injury or a few games suspension, you wouldn't have any fear at all.
No.
I mean, and he does get up the line a wee bit as well if you watch him.
He'll get you a season. He'll get you maybe half a dozen goals in the other team's penalty box as well. Bassey, if he was in the team every week, different players altogether.
He's a marauder, isn't he?
Dave Edinburgh.
He's like a locomotive train going up that left side, but totally different players. Barisic gives you more, Borna gives you more going forward, definitely. Bassey, strong unit, nobody will get by him, you know what I mean? But as you're saying, what was the difference for January there last season? The difference is the bench. The difference is the bench, and the players have improved again. They've stepped up again, And the bench is, that bench is, it's incredible, the bench compared to a couple of seasons ago.
I think that was the point that Port Bear was wanting to make right at the start, Port.
That's exactly, you've hit the nail on the head there, Dave. I remember when we played last Sunday, last Saturday, I'm looking at the bench and I'm going, wow, the strength and depth of your squad now and the quality. For guys like, Kemar Rufus still back coming in, Aribo, Big Itten, he's pretty unknown at the moment. We don't really know what we're going to get for a big fella. But the strength and depth of your squad right now, I don't really fear now anymore. I don't sit and think we've only got like 13, 14 in a squad that I trust. I actually trust probably 17 or 18 of them, and that's the way it should be. So, long may it continue, keep these guys fit. Rest when rest is needed. And like I said, if we're winning 2-0 and we're coasting the game, let's just close the game out, guys, and get the 3 points. Because I strongly believe we will win this league playing in this system. I think we've got the number.
Do you think we've put the fear back into teams playing us now?
Aye, 100%. I think
so as well.
I think it's... At one point we were very predictable. People knew what we were going to do, and that's how that low block was working. But all of a sudden the low block's not working anymore because we've got plenty of bodies in the box. That's the thing.
I'll take this question, run yous on. It's a yes or a no answer. He gave you the team for 3 years ago, Kachida's team. Kilmarnock came to play us, we drew one each. Do you think Kilmarnock were scared of that team? Dave?
No chance.
George?
No.
John?
No, definitely not.
Andy?
No chance.
Alex? Number one?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Alex, number two?
100% no.
I think
the same.
For you, Bridge.
Same with me.
I think that answer, that is a lesson here ended by Port Bear. I think that proves your point, mate.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I think Kilmarnock were probably laughing at the team sheet, mate, to be honest.
Well, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening, and it's over to Bridge. Just let him finish.
Oh, what can I say? By the way, Oxford, what a marvellous programme tonight. Brilliant show. Well done to everybody. Every single one is. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is. How many sleeps to go? 2. Let's do it. Everybody, 2 sleeps. Keep it going for the Rangers. Keep it going.
There are that many guys, first time callers, Mark, Ross, John, and John's missus for letting us use his phone. John, let us know he's alive. Thanks very much. Thanks to all the boys that's called in. Dave, the Edinburgh, Andy, the Leeds. Alec, always a pleasure to have you on. The 2 Alex, that is. And of course, George VK, one of the stars of Rangers Radio. Port Baron Bridge for taking part in the show. And Fox and Old School Boy for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. And we'll be joined by Linda. Take it away, Old School Boy.
We are the Rangers FC. We are the people, you better believe. We are together, we're doing the fancy all over the world. We had our troubles, but now they are gone. They tried to kill us, but the Bears, we stood strong. We are together, doing the fancy all over the world. Lucia Vibrox for Lancer 3. Follow, and God save the Queen. You'll hear us singing, doing the fancy all over the world. In Barcelona in 72, we beat the Russians, but 3-2. Still celebrating, doing the fancy all over the world. Glasgow Rangers are back where we belong. Lucia Vibrox, and we're still going strong. We wear our colours, the red, white and blue. We wear them proudly like blue noses do. We are together, doing the fancy all over the world. The pride of Scotland, but that's nothing new. The pride of Glasgow, and Glasgow is blue. We are together, doing the fancy all over the world. To be a blue nose, it fills us with pride. We are united, we'll never divide. We are together, doing the fancy all over the world. Doing the fancy all over the world. Doing the fancy all over the world.